There are moments in life when things should have broken us, but somehow they didn't. When chaos circled close yet never touched our core. When we lost much, but not ourselves. If you felt this quiet force guiding you, steadying you, sharpening you through hardship instead of destroying you, then this message is not random. It is a recognition, a reminder, a signal. This is not about superstition or blind belief. It is about patterns of character, behavior, and inner strength that emerge only when a person is being forged rather than consumed. The ancient thinkers understood this deeply. They spoke not of luck, but of alignment. Not of miracles, but of inner protection built through discipline, reason, and restraint. Let us walk this path together, quietly, clearly, as one. Sign 1. Hardship refines you instead of destroying you. One of the clearest signs that you are surrounded by spiritual protection is this: life keeps testing you, but it never takes your core away. You are pressured, stretched, wounded, but not erased. Where others collapse into bitterness, escapism, or chaos, you grow quieter, sharper, more controlled. This is not because your life is easier. In fact, it is often harder. A protected individual is not spared from pain. They are trained by it. You may have noticed that every major difficulty you faced, betrayal, loss, isolation, failure, did not turn you reckless or weak. Instead, it forced you inward. It stripped illusions. It burned away arrogance, dependence, and emotional excess. What remained was not comfort, but clarity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Fire tests gold. Misfortune tests brave men. Hardship is not random. It is diagnostic. It reveals what is fragile and what is essential. When adversity enters your life and your character becomes more disciplined rather than more chaotic, that is a rare signal. It means the pressure is shaping you, not consuming you. Many people experience suffering and become smaller. They grow resentful. They seek distraction. They blame the world. But when you suffer, something different happens. You become more responsible for your own inner state. You stop expecting fairness. You stop waiting for rescue. You begin mastering yourself. This is spiritual protection in its most severe form. Stoic thinkers understood that the mind must be hardened gently but consistently. Epictetus taught that we do not control events, only our judgments about them. When life repeatedly places you in situations that force you to practice restraint, patience, and emotional control, it is not cruelty. It is conditioning. Look closely at your past struggles. Notice how many times something that felt like devastation later revealed itself as necessary. A door closing that saved you from decay, a loss that redirected your discipline, a period of isolation that strengthened your self-command. Protection does not always feel warm. Often it feels like pressure. But pressure that produces wisdom is not punishment, it is guidance. If you are being refined instead of ruined, it means your path requires strength, and strength is never handed out freely. It is forged through resistance, through discomfort, through trials that demand you rise above impulse. We begin to understand slowly that not everything painful is harmful. Some pain is corrective. Some suffering is selective. It removes what cannot survive the journey ahead. When hardship leaves you more composed, less reactive, and more internally ordered, understand this. You are not being tested to see if you fail. You are being trained because you are capable. And that is one of the strongest signs of protection there is. Sign 2. You are repeatedly separated from what once felt familiar. Another quiet but powerful sign of spiritual protection is this. People, places, and patterns keep falling away from your life, often without your permission. Relationships drift. Environments no longer fit. Conversations that once energized you now feel hollow. And no matter how hard you try to return to the old rhythm, something inside you refuses. This separation is rarely dramatic. It happens silently, gradually, almost invisibly, and that is precisely why most people misinterpret it as loss. But from a deeper perspective, this is not abandonment, it is alignment. The Stoics understood that growth often requires subtraction. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have too little time, but that we waste much of it." What he implied is that energy misplaced is life misspent. When your path demands precision, excess must be removed, especially excess in the form of emotional dependency, distraction, and false belonging. If you are protected, life will not allow you to remain comfortable in environments that weaken your character. You may notice that certain people exit your life at the exact moment you are about to outgrow them, not because they are evil, but because they are no longer compatible with the person you are becoming. Their values clash with your discipline, their habits erode your clarity, their presence pulls you backward emotionally, and so they fade. This is not cruelty, it is preservation. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? When life begins asking that question for you, removing what is unnecessary, it is acting as a guardian, not an enemy. What makes this process painful is attachment. We cling to familiarity because it feels safe. But familiarity is not always aligned with virtue. The Stoic path demands inner sovereignty, and sovereignty cannot be built while constantly adapting yourself to environments that reward weakness, chaos, or emotional excess. So you are separated, not all at once, not violently, but steadily. You may find yourself alone more often, more selective with words, less interested in noise, less tolerant of shallow connections, and while this can feel like loneliness, it is actually filtration. Epictetus taught that freedom begins the moment we stop needing external validation. When your life keeps reducing your reliance on others for identity, comfort, or direction, it is strengthening your independence. It is teaching you to stand firm without leaning. This is why protected individuals often walk alone for long stretches. Not because they are broken, but because their path requires clarity, and clarity requires space. If you keep being removed from situations that once defined you, understand this. What is being taken is not meant to travel with you further. What remains is what can survive the weight of who you are becoming. And when you finally arrive at the next stage of your life, you will realize something profound. The separation was not loss, it was preparation. Sign 3. Your emotional triggers are losing their power over you. A third deeply revealing sign of spiritual protection is this: the things that once controlled your emotions no longer hold the same authority. Situations still happen, people still provoke, life still tests. But the reaction, the fire, the chaos, the inner collapse does not come as it once did. Something has changed inside us. The Stoics believed that true strength is not found in avoiding hardship, but in mastering the inner response to it. Epictetus stated with ruthless clarity, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you begin to experience distance between stimulus and response, you are witnessing protection at work, quiet, internal, unannounced. This change does not feel dramatic. In fact, it can feel unsettling. You may notice moments where you should be angry, but you aren't. Moments where you should feel offended, but you feel calm instead. Words that once pierced you now pass through without lodging in your chest. Old wounds are touched, yet they no longer bleed. This is not emotional numbness, it is emotional sovereignty. Spiritual protection often manifests as restraint. The world keeps offering the same tests: insults, disrespect, manipulation, chaos, but you are no longer reactive. And because reaction is how most people are controlled, your lack of it becomes armor. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When this realization stops being an idea and becomes a lived experience, you are no longer easy to harm. Notice how this protection works. Instead of removing difficult people from your life immediately, it removes their access to your inner world. They may still speak, still act, still provoke, but their influence is cut off at the gate. This is a rare state. Most people remain emotional hostages, dragged by anger, envy, fear, and pride. But when protection surrounds you, your nervous system begins to calm. Your mind slows. You respond deliberately rather than instinctively, and because you are no longer feeding destructive emotions, they weaken and eventually starve. Seneca warned that anger always punishes the one who carries it. So when anger loosens its grip on you, it is not weakness, it is survival intelligence. This shift also reveals something else. You are being trained for heavier responsibilities. Those who cannot control their emotions cannot be trusted with influence, leadership, or truth. The Stoic path prepares individuals to endure pressure without breaking, to remain clear when others panic, to act rationally when chaos invites impulse. So your triggers fade, not because life is easier, but because you are stronger. If you find that situations which once consumed you now barely disturb your inner balance, recognize the signal. Your inner defenses have been reinforced. You are being guarded not by avoidance of hardship, but by mastery within it, and that is the highest form of protection there is. Sign 4. Life quietly redirects you away from what would have destroyed you. The fourth sign of spiritual protection is subtle, almost invisible while it is happening. Life begins to close doors for you without asking your permission. Opportunities fall apart, relationships fade, plans collapse at the last moment, and at first it feels like loss. Only later do we understand it was intervention. This kind of protection does not arrive with comfort or explanation. It arrives as resistance, delays, disappointments, detours. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." What feels like obstruction is often guidance disguised as friction. We look back and realize, had that relationship continued, it would have drained us. Had that path succeeded, it would have corrupted us. Had that door stayed open, it would have led us away from ourselves. Spiritual protection works in reverse of desire. It removes what the ego wants, but the soul cannot afford. This is why the protected often experience repeated endings, not because they are unlucky, but because they are being refined. Each forced ending trims excess. Each collapse narrows focus. Each disappointment strengthens discernment. Epictetus taught that we should not demand events happen as we wish, but wish them to happen as they do. This is not passive surrender. It is alignment with a deeper intelligence that sees further than our impulses. Notice how these redirections often happen just in time. You almost make the wrong decision, almost trust the wrong person, almost commit to something that would cost you years, and then something stops it. A delay, a conflict, a sudden loss of interest, a clear discomfort you cannot ignore. At the time we resist, we argue, we grieve, we ask why. But protection rarely feels gentle in the moment. It feels like restriction. Seneca warned that what harms us most is not adversity, but attachment to outcomes, people, identities we outgrow. So when life removes something, it is often removing an attachment that would have kept us small. This is how protection preserves your integrity. You are not being blocked, you are being rerouted. And this rerouting often leads to solitude, silence, and uncertainty. Yet those spaces are where strength consolidates, where values sharpen, where self-control becomes instinct rather than effort. If you notice a pattern where life repeatedly pulls you away from paths that once felt appealing but now feel misaligned, pay attention. This is not punishment, it is preparation. You are being protected from versions of yourself that would have betrayed your deeper potential. And one day, when you look back with clarity instead of emotion, you will understand what you lost did not leave you weaker, it kept you whole. That is not coincidence. That is protection, working quietly in your favor. Join our exclusive community today and become a member. Get early access to videos, members-only content, and a direct path to strengthen your mind, spirit, and discipline. Click the join button now and step into a world of inner growth and unstoppable motivation. If this video resonated with you and sparked something deep inside, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to strengthen your mind and fortitude. Join our growing community of thinkers, warriors and seekers, striving to master themselves and rise above destructive emotions.